What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing some work on the 70 Nova. Just a little bit of body work. I'm actually shaving the side marker lights on the car. Those are going bye-bye. One on the front and one on the rear back here. I just feel like this, when you shave these, it really cleans up the sides of these cars. The other sides are already done. I did them a while back when I was working on the car. As you can see, it gives you the idea of what it looks like when they're gone. That is the only body modification I'll be doing to this car, is just eliminating the side markers. The other one's fallen down, stitched it in. I gotta go back and do final welding on this quarter panel and the side markers. They're just, everything's just kind of stitched in right now. Gotta do some more metal work, bump out a few places. So what my plans are with this car is I'm just gonna metal work the whole body, and then I'll probably just be putting a matte clear coat over it, just so it retains the bare steel look. So that's the direction I've decided to go in. I'm gonna try and just fix the body the best I can. It's not gonna be perfect, but I am gonna leave this car bare metal and somewhat rough on the outside. You guys let me know what you think about that in the comment section. I am open to all criticism, so let me know. Alright, we're going to start first by shaving off this marker light. I rough cut a piece to weld in there. It definitely isn't that close. We're going to have to massage it a little bit to get it to fit. It's pretty close, but we'll get that all ground down and fit in there, and then we'll start burning it in. Safety first, always. Alright, we got her somewhat trimmed in. I think it'll fit now. Notice I arrowed up so I know which side goes up, because this sometimes can throw you off, so make sure you remember what side's up. So all these dimensions are slightly different on every corner. So let's see how she fits. You really just want to take your time with this part whenever you're shaving something off of your car, and really make sure that it all fits very flush. And you've got a slight gap in there for the MIG welder to penetrate real well when you get your weld going. You don't want the weld to sit on top. You want it to kind of sink into that small gap that you leave around your panel. Alright, that actually looks like it's pretty good. I think I got it. Sure, definitely happy with that. Get it to where we want it. Start tacking. All I did, the green behind my panel, is just masking tape. It helps this panel from falling down and dropping down into my quarter panel, and it keeps my panel in place for when I go to tack it. So what I'll do is tack that panel in just slightly and then remove the tape so it doesn't catch on fire and burn, make a big mess. But it's just a little trick I picked up hold your panel in place for when you're ready to tack it. And that looks pretty good. Give you guys a close-up shot of it here in a second. As you guys can see, it pretty much eliminated that marker light perfectly. And again, you just got to really take your time with your panel. Trim it, don't over trim it. Take off just a little bit at a time and you'll get it. Comes with practice for sure. You can see how nice that panel fits now. Very flush, ready for welds. I didn't show you guys, before I made this panel, I always use cardboard, piece of cardboard, super easy to trim. And all you do is just cut the cardboard to fit the exact dimensions of what you're shaving. And then I just transferred that over to my sheet metal piece, trimmed that out, and it saved me a ton of time on adjusting the cut and where I needed it to be. So just another little cheap trick that I picked up. Cardboard saves you lots of time and getting your panels perfectly how you want them. Alright, we're going to fire up the welder now. Always make sure you wear gloves in long sleeve coats. I've really gave myself a horrible sunburn from welding before. Make sure all your skin's covered. You learned your lesson doing that. Alright, so what we're going to do is just go ahead and start tacking this in. You really want to take your time here and make sure everything fits up flush so you don't get any weird waves. Alright, now we're going to remove that tape, like I said, because it will definitely catch on fire. And it's just not needed anymore. Now we're just going to kind of work the panel, trying to get everything to seat the way you want it, make sure it's all the way burned in. You also want to really take your time when you're tacking, move around to different spots on the panel, like start over here, go over here, go back here, 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 here. until you make it around the whole panel. You really don't want to warp this thin sheet metal. You won't be happy. We're going to go ahead and keep on tacking here. As you can see, it's starting to stitch together. You just continue doing that until you're all done. Fill up the two big end gaps. The big holes here, you really got to get the welder in there at an angle and just start slowly filling that gap in. And it is a big gap. I could have cut the panel to fit that better, but I've welded in holes like that many times, and it just comes with experience. You guys will see by the time I'm done. It'll be a nice, smooth panel. Alright, like I said, how I do it is trace the panel onto a piece of cardboard. All it says is a piece of cardboard marker. I got the width cut to the shape, but it's just rough. All you do is stick it in there, mark the bottom, cut it out. There it is. So we'll just trim that out of the steel and we'll have our panel. Much closer than guessing on just the steel. I keep scrap pieces of metal laying around my shop from old jobs. They work really well for using to shave stuff, and just, you never know when you need some steel. It's better than having to go out and buy it every time you need a piece. So whatever you guys ever do, man, just always hang on to your scrap pieces. You never know when you'll use them again. So now all I got to do is put this on here and trace it out and then cut it out, and we will have our panel. I just use some basic sheet metal shears to cut it out. This is the time you really want to take your time in making sure that your panel fits right. You don't want to rush this part and have a wavy panel or one corner bumped up that didn't fit right. Really just take your time, no hurry. Alright, we got this whole area pretty much cleaned up of any kind of dirt or debris. I'm going to go ahead and stick my tape on the back, hold my panel in. And we got our panel final fitted, stripped of the paint, so it's bare metal. So let's go ahead and see if it fits. All right, so I'm definitely happy with the fit. As you guys can see, panel's sitting in there nicely. Nice little gap all around for the MIG to fill in. So we are going to go ahead and start tacking it in. Again, it took me some time to get that panel right like that. It's not as easy as it looks on camera. You just got to take your time and make sure it fits nicely, because the fit and finish is what makes it come out nice in the end. So if you can get a nice fitting panel in there after you grind all your welds down, you really shouldn't even really be able to tell that there was ever a hole here. So ideally that's what we're shooting for. We'll see. Alright, well, we're gonna go ahead and burn this one in. Alright, well, we got this one burning. Filled it all in. Now I just gotta go back and grind all my welds down, and you shouldn't be able to tell there was ever a side marker there. So that's what we're gonna do next, is grind and smooth. That's the pretty part. Alright, as you can see, I got it ground down with the roughed-in grinder. You can start to see it taking shape. Got most of those welds grinded out. Now we're going to go back through and smooth it all and see what we're left with. Alright, you guys, we got it wrapped up. Pretty much check it out. What you're going for. A little bit of metal work left, but overall it's very happy with how it came out. That's how it should look when you're done. Nice and smooth. Like you can't even tell it's there. I mean, like I said, there's a little bit of wave left, but I'm gonna go back and continue to hammer and dolly that, flatten it out, and sand it again a little bit more. But for now, it's good to go. Barely tell it was even there. And that is how it should be. So really just doing this is taking your time, making sure your patch panel fits good, and just taking it easy until you're done. Don't warp your panel with too much heat. Just want to go real slow at it. And I still have to grind and beat on this back one back here. Sorry for the lighting, but you guys can see that's what that one looked like, and this one's next. So I'll get that all ground down and worked, and we'll just continue to work on this side of the car. I gotta do some work on this seam here. It goes back. I'm gonna hammer and dolly that and get that flatter, and just try to metal work this whole car until I'm happy with it. So if you guys liked this video, give me a thumbs up, and if you like the content, please subscribe. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and let me know how I'm doing in the comment box. Really appreciate it. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.